Hello and good morning. It's Tuesday and I'm just kind of starting to get ready for the day. Dylan and I have a whole bunch of things that we need to tackle on our to-do list before Chase gets off the bus. So it's a quick glam today. I'm just going to start with my primer. This is Touch Glorious Primer. It should always be the first step whenever you do your makeup. Wash your face, start with primer. Let it sit for 5 minutes. So Chase and I have a whole bunch of things to do or Dylan and I have a whole bunch of things to do before we get, hi Megan, how are you? Before we get Chase off of the school bus today. So, it's off to Home Depot and all the errands that we have to run. I feel like this time of year, it's like Mother's Day and end of school year, where I'm just cramming everything in. Plus I have the spring cleaning bug. And I just want like a giant dumpster to arrive in front of our house so I can just start chucking things, honestly, because that's what I do when I get overwhelmed. I just start being neurotic about things being clean and organized, which means I start purging. I don't know if other people do this, but it's how I like center myself. I was trying to explain to my husband last night. I'm not crazy, but when I feel out of control, I have to have everything around me be like clean and tidy and organized, and it just makes me feel calm again. I don't know. I talk to a lot of women who agree with me that this is how they operate. Hi Lisa, how are you? So this is kind of where I'm at. I look around and I just see things all over the house that are in disarray. I told him last night, I said, I went down into the basement, and the feeling I got when I went down there was like if you had gone away for a week and you came home and found out that your kids had thrown like a raging kegger in your absence and didn't clean up after themselves. That's how I felt when I walked into my finished basement last night. So, needless to say, I have a lot of things that I have planned, including a garage sale to get rid of all the things that I'm done with. So I don't want to just chuck them, right? That would be wasteful. All right, so I'm going to go in with Liquid Touch Foundation today. I haven't worn Liquid Touch in a couple of my tutorials. I've been doing a lot of powder. I did the BB cream. I did the stick foundation, which is going to relaunch in May. It's going to reboot with the restock, but I feel like I've kind of been neglecting Liquid Touch Foundation for a little while. So I'm going to go and do a tutorial with this. This is the shade Islet. You always want to blend this together really well, give it a good shake, and drop the plunger a few times because it's a mineral makeup. It's going to separate and you just want to blend it all back together. That goes for our cream concealers as well. Hi, Jennifer. So you're just going to want to make sure that you blend everything together. It's going to give you a much more even distribution of product on your face, and it's just going to look a ton better. So I just kind of shake it for a second. When I'm not mixing this with BB cream, I still put it on the back of my hand. And I would say about doing well, great to catch you live. How are you? I'm doing great, Lisa. Thank you. How are you? So I still put a little bit of it on the back of my hand. I feel like it's easier than grabbing the dropper every time. And I would say I put about a half a dropper on my hand. I never do a full dropper. I always feel like that's too much. So I just kind of dot this on my face where I'm going to blend it in. And that way I'm not smearing my makeup all over when I blend it. All right, so this is the shade Islet. As you can see, I'm a paler girl. And I've got a little bit of like a yellow to my complexion, a yellow to neutral. I'm not terribly warm. So I did just wash, hi Kim, I did just wash my EcoTools blending sponge. This is something that I get at Target. I also order them on Amazon. I can never find them at CVS, so don't even bother looking for them there. But I always buy in bulk. Happy Tuesday, doll. I always buy these in bulk because my 60-pound boxer will always search for this thing, open up a drawer, and for some reason destroy it. She won't destroy any of the other ones that I have that I don't like, but maybe this one smells like me and I don't understand, but she goes after it every time. So this is just washed in hot water and hand soap to clean it. and I'm going to press it into my skin. So a little bit of moisture in here is a good thing. Not dripping wet. I just take a clean washcloth and I just kind of squeeze it out a couple of times in there to take extra moisture out that I don't need. But a little bit does help to blend your makeup in. And it also gives it this really nice squishy texture. When you first get your blending bud, it's gonna feel very stiff, but when you wash it, it's gonna probably almost double in size. And I just prefer to use it that way. The softness really makes blending your makeup in that much easier. Hi Jess, how are you? So I always press it in, I don't smear it. I learned that lesson when I was in high school. I used to have like a compact of cream foundation and I would just like grab it and smear it all over my face. And I remember doing that and seeing like the smear lines and just thinking that was normal, which it was normal for me as a very novice makeup applicator. But we know better, so we do better. All right, all blended in. So I'm going to use, I've really been loving this lately. I got a Touch powder. This is a Touch Mineral Press Powder in the shade Scarlet. So this is the same shade. I'm doing very well. In fact, Dylan and I were just watching boxer videos and he decided we needed another one so that Mina could sit in a boxer pile like all the dogs we were looking at on Facebook. So Scarlet is the same shade of concealer that I use in the cream concealer. This is just the pressed powder foundation, and I use the EcoTools sponge, the short side right here. He's a pip. He is a total pip. So I'm just going to grab some of the product on here and press it in like this. So the great thing about this is it's not only setting my makeup, but it's also giving me that highlight and contour that I want. It's also giving me extra coverage in that area. Doing it with the wet sponge honestly blends it in so nicely. I'm thrilled to say I picked up that tip from watching somebody on Instagram who was just like randomly doing their makeup and talking. And I was like, I'm gonna give that a try. But if you have fine lines and creasing, you will not notice like a buildup of product underneath your eye if you do this. Sometimes I will hear from people who say that they notice when they do foundation and then cream concealer and then a setting powder that they feel like there's just too much product on there and they notice creasing. So give this a try. I promise you'll love it because I'm really loving it, and I know all summer long I'm gonna go to this because it gets really humid here in New York, and this is gonna solve a lot of those problems for me. So I'm just doing my jawline. Basically everywhere I'm doing is the areas on my face that I want to come forward in my highlight and contour routine. And so these are gonna be the bright spots on my face. There you have it. And granted, it does look very, very light right now. It'll be great. Just give it a second. Trust the process. Further proof to trust the process. So on Sunday, my friend Melanie and I did an Orange Theory fitness class, and I showed up with makeup on because that's who I am. I'm going to use actually Sunset bronzer today. This is the lightest bronzer that we have. I just wanted to show you guys different products because I hate when I watch people do their makeup and it's literally the same routine with the same makeup every time, and there's not really a value of logging on and watching it if you've already seen it before. So hence the reason I'm kind of trying to change it up. All right, so back to Sunday. So Sunday we went to Orange Theory Fitness, and I showed up with makeup on. I had like a pressed powder routine on, and she was like, that's all gonna be off of your face by the time we're done here. Not even close. Not even remotely close. And after we did Orange Theory, we went to a cryo place, and we went in the cryo freeze, and we had cryo facials, and my makeup was still perfect all day long. Then I came home and went bowling with the kids. So just so you know, trust the process, trust the layering, trust the products. it's a game changer. And the Orange Theory class was no joke. No joke at all. If you're familiar with Orange Theory, you get these things called splat points, and that's when you're at your max heart rate. You're supposed to leave with 12 splat points. I left with 34 because my heart was just like, what are you doing? We don't do this. We do all of our like heart palpitations and things like that based on anxiety about, you know, home decor and Game of Thrones. That's generally where I get the bulk of my exercise. Cardiac workouts are usually from HBO and my own like neuroses. So always blend on your jawline, down your neck. It's going to give you a really nice sharp jawline. And the name of the game is just blend it out. So this is Sunset. Like I said, this is the palest shade of bronzer that we have. So you can see that it gives you almost just like a very subtle tan appearance. It's not going to be really like cutting, and you can be a little bit more generous with how much you put on or where you're putting it, because it's not quite so dark, at least on someone with a complexion like mine, which is reminiscent of Casper, you know. It's fine. It's totally fine. I've made peace with it after all these years. All right, so little tip. This is a giant powder brush. There's nothing on it, totally clean. I never actually put anything on it. I just use it to blend. Hi, Kristen. And basically, by doing this, it's going to blow out any harsh lines. Hi, Breezy. It's going to blow out any harsh lines that you have on your face so that you don't end up with those like racing stripes on your face that we've all seen. And it just doesn't look good. So a big powder brush with nothing on it is going to blend all that out. So you just have like a very natural appearance. You'll still have contour, but it just won't be aggressive contour. Nobody wants an aggressive contour. Like even when I look at Kim Kardashian, I can appreciate how well her makeup is done and how beautiful she is. But it's just a little too finished. Like she just looks completely unapproachable, and maybe she's not, maybe she's like the most darling person on earth, but she just looks like walking art, and I don't know that I could ever walk up and be like, hi. Ain't nobody got time for aggressive content. I try to make time, but honestly I just feel like I feel phony in it or something. Like I can appreciate that it looks good, but then I'll like catch myself out in public and I'm like, what are you doing? Honestly with this contour. Hi, Kelly. Okay, so now I'm going to go in, speaking of Barbie and all things fake, I'm going in with this blush. Do not be afraid of this blush. Wow, you aren't white anymore. True, this process is great. It really does bring like a very healthy glow to your face. I mean, and the pressed powder that I used is 4 shades lighter than the foundation that I use. I know. I don't even keep up anymore. I feel like I need to know what's going on just so I can be a part of society, but I don't like buy into it anymore. I totally get you, Breezy. Okay, so this is crazy color, right? The first time I saw it, I thought like, you've got to be out of your mind to buy this. It's amazing though. Okay, so this is the shade Stunning. And when you blend it out, I promise you, it's gorgeous. All of our shades are hyperpigmented, so when you see them in the case, like that is not crazy. Vote now. It's not crazy. It's gorgeous. When you see them in the case, they're going to look like their most intense versions of themselves. Of course, I could achieve this color if I wanted to. I don't see a reason unless I was going to an 80s party to achieve this look. But if you blend it out and if you use the proper amount, which is that much, you're not going to get like a crazy situation happening on your face. That's why, honestly, I love the products the most, is because I don't have to use a lot of it, which leaves you looking more like yourself and without looking like you have a full face of caked on makeup. Like you can actually see your skin through this stuff. You're just seeing the filtered version of it. So that's Stunning Blush. Don't be scared. I promise you, I would not lead you down the wrong direction. I'm not here just for the payout. I do have like a whole like human interest piece of this, honestly. Okay, so let's do eyeshadow. I'm going to use 3 colors today. So this is Idealistic. It's sort of like this taupey sort of champagne. This is Lively, this sort of corally orange. And then this Agile is purple. So these are 3 very contrary colors, but they're going to blend together gorgeously. Orange brings out the purple brings out the green in my eyes. The orange brings out the pink in my skin. And this is just a really great neutral shade to blend it all with. So I'm going to start with Idealistic. My big fluffy blending brush. And I'm just going to apply this all over my lid from my crease to the corner and blend it out. It's just going to give me a little bit of extra shadow and depth to my eye. I promise we won't look like we're Bratz dolls when we're done. Promise, promise. All right, so now I'm going to grab the purple, which is the shade Agile, with that same big fluffy blending brush. No eye primer. No, I never actually use eye primer. I always just take a little bit of the primer that I use for my face and I just blend it over my eyelids when I'm done. This is what I use for my whole face. And one of these puppies lasts me at least 6 months, at the very least. I use about a pea-size amount. Okay, so a little bit of Agile on that same big fluffy brush, and I'm just going to blend it into the crease only from the outside corner and just kind of blow out that crease. And it's just going to add a little bit of a purple shade. I obviously don't want to go overboard on the purple because I truly don't like eyeshadow color. I just like to see like, oh, there's a little bit of something there. I never want to look at my face and go, wow, she's wearing blue eyeshadow. It's always like I will add some color to my eye, but you won't be able to tell exactly what I layered until you get right up on it. And I'm just blending it. Now, literally when I touch these, I touch it once because they're so hyperpigmented. There is a ton of color on here to achieve this. So you really only need a very little bit, and it makes blending it out that much easier because you're not wiping product all over and trying to make sense of it. All right, so the last shade is Lively. It's this really pretty sort of vibrant orange. And I'm going to grab my Unique, where did I put it? Fluffy crease brush, where are you? Here it is. So the Unique Fluffy Crease Brush is, thank you, Rosie. It's a fluffy brush, but it's got a tapered end so that you can kind of access a little bit more of a detail on it. So I'm just going to grab a little bit of Lively. You can see just by touching it how much product ends up on there because it's all pigment and not like filler, essentially. And I'm going to blend it right into the crease of my eye only. The further that you hold your brush back, the more precise you're going to be able to get with it and lighter touch. The further that you hold it towards the tip, you're going to find a harder time trying to get detail. It's funny, further away and you're good to go. So just feel for the crease of your eye, don't force it. You'll find that your brush wants to fall in that crease anyway. And it just warms it up just enough that you get like a glow to it as opposed to a color. All right, so into the crease again. I mostly keep my eye closed. I can still see out of it, but it helps me just find that crevice that much easier. Easy peasy. And then when I'm all done, I just take that big blush, fluffy brush again and blend it all out. Like so. All right, so now we're gonna go in and do our brows really quick. So Brow Obsession palette, always my go-to. This is the brunette palette, so it's right in the middle. We have a blonde palette and we have a dark brown palette, and this one's kind of falls right in the middle. I've been skipping mixing it with the gel lately. and just sort of doing a combination of the powders, it still stays really, really well, but it's been giving me a little bit of a softer appearance on my brows. I didn't want to have that really sharp sculpted look about them. I just wanted them to look very natural. So I've been skipping the like the cream in it, and it just helps me to be a little bit softer on the brow. I can still be very precise though. All right, so I go in and do the bottom line. This is basically where I define the parameters of my brow. And then I do the top line, and I just grab those little baby hairs that live right on the top. You should never tweeze those. They're going to help give you a really nice arch. And then I fill in from the arch of my brow back, because that's going to be the darkest and thickest part of your brow naturally. And then I just gently start to sort of move forward with what's on my brow and on my brush and blend backwards. And that's going to give you that nice soft beginning of your brow, like how they naturally grow. And it's going to fade it into the thicker, darker part of your brow. So it's going to give you a very natural look. I do want to point out, so I just put on 3 different shades of eyeshadow, lots of color, right? I have zero fallout, nothing. There is no fallout whatsoever on my face, because you're not taking tons of product off of this. You're taking a lot of pigment and not a lot of powder. That's the biggest transition I had to make when I started using Younique, from using store brands and even a lot of Sephora brands. I didn't realize how much stuff I was putting on my face just to achieve color, and that's what all the fallout is. It's just all the talc and powder that they have on there. That's just, you're losing it. So the first time I applied Younique eyeshadow, it was so intense because I was taking way too much. So when you do switch to Younique, you'll find that your shadows last you about 1,000,000 times longer, and that you're able to use so much less to get the color that you want. And it also means that you're not going to spend the rest of your morning picking up your face because it rained all over it. It's so frustrating. Like when people are like, oh, I do my eyes first so that I can clean up all the mess. I'm like, or you're using junk. That's just how I feel. It's just how I feel about that. I went a wee bit too aggressive on this brow, so I'm just going to edit it back. Hi Amber, how are you? Alright, so now we're all blended in on the brows. Everybody's looking good, pretty symmetrical. And brows are honestly, they're a lot easier to do than they look. I know a lot of people get intimidated by doing them. It does totally change the shape of your face, but once you put the finishing products on, here's another little tip that I'll do. If I have extra product left over on my brow artist brush, I'll grab a little powder and I will just shadow in my lower lash line. You can even do your upper lash line, but this is the perfect fine angled tip to turn powder into liner. I also know people who will use the shadows in this, the powders in this, as eyeshadow. I'm all for a multi-use product. Totally necessary. All right, Epic One Step Mascara. I cannot wait for tomorrow. Tomorrow, May 1st, the 4D mascara launches. So I will be sitting there at my computer diligently waiting for the clock to strike 9 o'clock Eastern time so that I can order them. So if you want to pre-order them with me, I can grab you some when I log on tomorrow and then ship them to you. I vow to faithfully be on the website waiting for a position to order them, and I'm a little bit afraid that they're going to sell out. So if you do want to get one of the new 4D mascaras, which I would say it grows your lashes about 50% when you apply it. And by grow it, I don't mean like naturally. It just makes them look about double the size. If you are interested in that, just shoot me a message or comment on this and let me know. I'll let you know how much it is and all that kind of stuff. And then I can grab you one when I log in tomorrow. Or you can log in and just remember to be on. It launches 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time or 6 a.m. Pacific Time, depending on where you are. And I know that people are already like, I need to buy 100. And I don't believe that they're limiting how many you can get at once. So I'm just hoping people don't get like ridiculously greedy with it. Or that they were really smart and ordered like 10 million tubes. I know that sounds excessive, but I bet you even if they ordered 10 million tubes that they'd be out in a week. The buildup of this has been unreal. It's got Y-shaped fibers in it, so it's just a one-step mascara like this. You don't have to like put transplant gel on and then add the fibers. You just do 2 coats of mascara like normal, but it's got Y-shaped fibers that are in the formula. So when you apply it to your lash, it's going to grab your lashes and seal to it so that it basically grows them in front of your very eyes. All the pictures that I have seen, I don't have a tube yet myself, so I can't say, oh, I used it and I loved it. But I trust my sponsor with everything because she's incredibly honest. If she doesn't like something that we sell, she will straight up tell you. I don't care for it. It's not my favorite. So she did a live demo for us and slept in it, okay? It didn't even flake off. Like, the fibers are not something that's just gonna like fall apart on your face like a lot of other brands. It's unreal. And she looked like she had just glued a pair of false eyelashes on. So if you don't have time to get lash extensions and you don't want to fool around with magnetic lashes anymore or otherwise, definitely shoot me a message. You're going to be obsessed. I dropped something and I don't know what it is. But even the regular Epic is just gorgeous. Gorgeous. All right, so now I'm going to go in with highlighter. And I think I want to use Lustrous. It's my rose gold highlighter. It's my newest one. And it's not an aggressively bright highlighter. It's just going to give you that like really pretty sort of shimmer on your face to make your skin look like it's glowing. And it also gives me just this really nice sort of soft transition between my concealer or my highlight powder and my blush. I put it right on my cheekbone and I just kind of do this C motion right over my brow. And then down the bridge of my nose. It sort of comes to a point, makes your nose look a little thinner. And then right on my Cupid's bow. If you really wanted to get jiggy with it, I just take my pinky and apply a little to the inside corner of my eye. And it just kind of gives it a little bit of brightness. You can tell the difference right there. It just opens up that inside of your eye. Whenever you put anything bright on the inside corner of your eye, it's going to make you look more awake. Love that. All right, so lip. I am using Prudent lip liner, Subtle Splash Liquid Lipstick, and I'm going to go over it with Hottie Lip Plumper as my gloss. So today is the last day of the April Kudos, which is the Epic Mascara, the Addiction palettes. We have 6 different eyeshadow Addiction palettes and a Splash Liquid lipstick for 80 bucks. So if you are interested in that, today is the last day to grab one of those. So Prudent lip liner is one of our nudes, but it's on the lighter side of nude. So when I apply it, you're really not going to see a line on my lips because it's really going to blend into the color of them very well. So if you like to just define the shape of your lip and you don't want that whole multi-colored thing, I totally get it. I see some people go really aggressive, like in high school when people used to wear like black lip liner and it was just, Oh my God, it was so bad. It was just, there's not another word for it. I don't want to sugarcoat it for you. It was just bad. You're not going to have that problem with this. So this is, again, Prudent Lip Liner. The reason lip liner is amazing is it keeps your lipstick in place all day long. Just having that like wax border on it is going to keep your lipstick from moving. I swear to God, it's the truth. I put Splash on in the morning at 6:30 and I come home from work and it's still there. I eat all day long. I'm definitely running my mouth all day long, drinking coffee. This stuff wears like braided steel. But the lip liner definitely helps with that. All right, so just lining really quickly. And it just helps to give you some shape and define that shape of your lip. As you can see, it doesn't look crazy. Like I could just throw gloss over this and I wouldn't have to blend anything in. It's just that you see, thanks Kim, it's just that you see my lip that much better. Okay. Lip liner is like one of the things that I just can't talk through. Try as I might. All right, so lip liner is on. This is all it is. It's, like I said, it's nothing aggressive. It's just really like the most natural nude you can get for your lips. So if you're not a lip liner person because you want to see the product, you're a lip liner person because you want to shape your lip and you want to keep your lipstick on all day long, Prudent is my jam. All right, so now we're going to go in with Subtle, which is, shockingly enough, one of my favorite lipsticks. It's just a great neutral. It's got a little bit of a pink to it as opposed to an orange. And it's just a really great like lip tone. Okay. Before I put the Hottie on, I just want my Splash liquid lipstick to dry for a minute. I don't know, I don't even think anybody told me to do this. I just feel like it extends the wear of it by 100% when you let the Splash sort of just sit on your lips for a minute, acclimate. I always put Splash on my dry lips. I never have like lip oil or any kind of like lip moisturizer on. I always put it on dry lips and I never rub it together. Like my grandmother used to like rub her lips together back and forth 1,000 times. The most you should do is pat. And when it feels dry, or you can't feel the product on anymore, I guess is a better way of saying it, you can definitely go over it with a lip gloss. I'm going over it with Hottie Lip Plumper, which is going to make my lips appear like bigger and juicier. It's also got peppermint oil in it, so it's actually going to plump your lips a little bit. And it doesn't hurt. I used to use a Hottie Lip Plump, not a Hottie, a lip plumper that actually hurt because it had, I want to say capsaicin, I don't know, some kind of pepper in it. Oh my God. It was like bees had descended upon my mouth. It was not good. I mean, I could tolerate it because I have a really high tolerance for pain, but I could totally see some of my girlfriends being like, you need to get your head checked if you would voluntarily do this every day. I was seeing that. Oh, good, Kim. And I love that it doesn't hurt. Shouldn't that go without saying? But honestly, because I had that other stuff, I think I threw it away, honestly. Because I was just like, this is for the birds. Why am I doing this to myself? Yeah, I don't even see it in here. It was just like, what am I actually doing here? Abusing myself with this. All right, so this is Touch Behold Setting Spray. If you live anywhere that it gets humid during the summer, I want you to grab one, if not two, because this is going to be your life. This also works as a really great primer for your face. If you ever run out of your Touch Glorious primer, you can spray your face with setting spray, wait until it dries, and then do your makeup, and it works in a pinch, because I have gotten to the point where I was waiting for my new touch to come in the mail, and it hadn't quite come yet because the post office hates me. And I used this, and I was golden. Golden girls. Golden. All right, so that is Touch Behold Setting Spray. It's basically just going to take and melt all your makeup together so that it doesn't move all day, and it's going to set it so it stays perfectly. The Touch Behold Setting Spray is going to set it to like a matte finish. It's not going to give you a glow. It's not going to make your face look damp or dewy or anything like that once it's dry, which it's drying right before your eyes. I can actually see the sheen like start to like slowly disappear. If you do like a glowy look, you can get the same situation where your makeup melts together and it's going to stay a lot longer if you use our rose water. I use this when I do a fully pressed powder makeup routine. I will use this. The pressed powder routine can sometimes make your skin look a little bit drier than you want it to. If you really love a matte finish, you'll love that. But I like a little bit of glow on my face, hence all of the glowy products that I use all the time. But I will set it with rose water toner, and it literally makes a powder make your skin look luminous. I don't know. I'm not going to argue with science. I just love it. Just love it. All right, so that is our look for today. Like, how pretty is this lip? This lip is truly like the perfect nude lip. It's not too pink, it's not too brown, it's not too orange, it doesn't look fussy. It just looks like you've got a great kisser. So I'm not going to complain with that. So again, that combo was the Prudent lip liner, subtle splash liquid lipstick, and just a clear Hottie lip plumper right over the top. You could also use our clear gloss though. So if you don't want to juice it up like I do, because we all know I have a serious issue with big lips right now. Like, I just need to change my last name to Jenner and get it over with. All right, girls, that is the look of the day. And I'm off to accomplish all kinds of things today because my to-do list is this big and my time to do it is this big. And then I'll just come home half done and be upset with myself. What would a Tuesday be without a little self-loathing? I will take, you look where I have to get to work. Me too. So it was great to see you. And we'll figure out what the kudos is for tomorrow. As soon as I know, I'll shoot you a message so you can take a peek at it. So I'm going to log off. I'll take a picture of this and I'll list all the products that I use so that if you have any interest in looking them up and seeing what's in them or whatever the case may be, you can just access them. You just touch my nose and a little description box will pop up that says shop here and you can just get to anything on my page that way. If you have questions about being color matched or what shades might be good for you or skin questions about what products might work best, message me anytime. Always happy to get back to you. Skincare questions. Obviously, great makeup starts with your skin looking right. So I'm a huge proponent for taking care of your skin. It is only going to love you back. Let me know if you have any questions on that. Otherwise, I will see you back here on Saturday, which is a million miles away, in my opinion. But I love you guys. Thank you for tuning in. It means the world to me. Like, share this with a friend. That's how I grow and meet new people and, you know, I don't know where this will take me, but hopefully cool places, right? So if you would share with a friend, I would truly appreciate it. It helps my business so much. But I love you guys. I will see you back here this weekend.